Okay, so we've all heard that the singularity is near. But here's the thing, that's not a metaphor anymore. There's an actual countdown clock to the moment artificial intelligence doesn't just match us, but surpasses us. And if the math is right, that moment isn't 50 years away, it's just over 1 year away. So, how will we know? What does surpassing us even look like? Well, it comes down to a score known as HLE. Okay, so what is HLE? Well, HLE stands for Humanity's Last Exam, and it's a cutting-edge benchmark test that's designed to test the totality of human expert knowledge. Thousands of questions spanning advanced mathematics, quantum physics, medical diagnostics, philosophy, and so much more. It's not a test that any single human can really pass. The highest human score ever recorded is 92%. A specialist in one field simply can't master all of the others. A generally educated person scores around 20 to 30% on this exam. A score of 100 means something very specific: superhuman mastery across every expert domain simultaneously. It's not just about playing chess or writing code. It signifies the moment an AI can understand, refine, and innovate on its own systems and the world around it better than its human creators. The prerequisite for true recursive self-improvement. And based on the latest exponential growth data from Gemini and OpenAI, we can actually calculate when this day will arrive. Let's start with Gemini. I analyzed every pro release from Gemini 1.5 through 2.5, plotting their HLE scores from February 2024 to June 2025. And the trend is undeniably exponential. Here's the curve. HLE score is equal to 4.989 times e to the power of 1.0523 times years. So in this formula, 4.989 is the initial HLE score of Gemini 1.5, and years is the number of years that has passed since February 2024. When Gemini 1.5 was initially assessed for HLE. And yes, you're seeing this formula correctly. That number, 1.05, means that Gemini's capabilities are improving by 105% every single year. So, what does that actually mean in context of reaching superintelligence? So, to find the exact date that Gemini will hit this 100% threshold, you have to solve for years. So 100 is equal to 4.989 times e to the power of 1.0523 times years. If you crunch the numbers, you'll get 2.85 years after February 2024. And Merry Christmas. That is December 21st, 2026. And what's really ominous about getting this date for this calculation is that Gemini is known to release their models in December. So the math seems to be on point. Okay, so now let's look at OpenAI. Plotting their major base models from GPT-4 to the recent GPT-5 gives us yet another exponential curve. The HLE score is equal to 4.68 times e to the power of 0.3622 times years. This is about a 36% annual growth, much slower than Gemini, but still exponential. If you solve for that 100%, you'll get March 24th, 2031. So we have two different timelines for AGI. We have 2026 and 2031. But here's the crucial part. GPT-5's leap over GPT-4 is so massive, it skews the whole model. It suggests that this 36% average growth is already an outdated number, and this curve could steepen to match Gemini. Regardless, the 2031 date is the latest that we can expect. The 2026 one is the one to watch out for. But what does this mean today? Well, it means that the performance of Gemini 3.0 is crucial. So based on the 2026 trend line, we can predict exactly what Gemini 3.0 needs to score in order to maintain this trend. To maintain the trend, plugging in today's date with a formula, the expected score is about 31%. If Gemini scores at or above 31% on humanity's last exam, the December 2026 timeline is still holding up. We are still on track. If it scores significantly higher, the date will move even closer. And if it scores lower, you have a few extra months to prepare for AGI. But math is not destiny. Exponential curves can hit limits. AI growth could slow due to data shortages, compute constraints, or safety regulations. And 100% HLE isn't a single switch being flipped. It's an approximation of a capability we've never even seen before. But the underlying truth remains. AI is improving exponentially, and the rate of change is faster than any technology in human history. So, if the math is right, we have just over 1 year before the first system passes humanity's last exam. And that's not much time. Not for governments, not for ethics boards, and not for us. The question isn't if AI can beat the test, it's if we'll be ready when it does. Anyway, that is all for today's data drop. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for similar content. If you've noticed anything off with the math I was doing in this, please let me know in the comments and I'll update this. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.